Hey, I'm Caleb from Caleb's Aviation, and this is the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit. I'm currently on my way across the bridge over into Canada for the start of today's adventure. It should be a very fun one. We're heading all the way from Detroit up to Toronto. This was pretty fun, as it was the first time I'd crossed the Ambassador Bridge, which has been around for a very long time. But as soon as we got toward Toronto, it was dark, so unfortunately the pictures weren't great. However, the next morning was much better, including my hotel view. Welcome to Canada. This is the Best Places for Plane Spotting, Episode 2, Toronto, Canada. Enjoy the video. Hey, I'm Caleb from Caleb's Aviation. Welcome back to the channel. I'm currently all the way up in Toronto, Canada, sitting just outside Toronto Pearson International Airport. In this episode of this video today, we're going to do some plane spotting around here, checking out the best places for plane spotting in Toronto. I'm also going to do some live plane spotting. Well, by the time you see this video, it will no longer be live. But yeah, that's the plan for today. If only the weather would cooperate a little better, but we'll see. Anyway, should be a fun one. Enjoy the video. The first place on our list today for the best places for plane spotting was called Fresh Burger, which faces Runway 23, one of the longest at Pearson Airport. The food was alright. I did not try the poutine like all the signs advertised, and I was here for the planes. Despite the rainy weather, the views were still pretty good, like this Korean Air Boeing 787. This was my favorite, as I'd never seen a Korean airplane, certainly not this close up, as it was headed off to Seoul for 15 hours and 12 minutes of flying today. There was also an Egypt Air 787 heading out to Cairo. Pretty soon that cold and wet weather proved too much, and I had to head indoors, which brings us to Spot 2. Known as Avworld Aviation Shop, it's one of the largest aviation stores in Canada. It faces one of the primary runways, and despite the rain, was a great spot for finding many narrow-body flights, like this Air Canada A321 and the Air Canada Rouge you saw earlier. The shop was also pretty cool. Despite numerous things on sale, like this Antonov 225 model, which looks spectacular, especially this old livery version, and the Microsoft Flight Simulator setup, I did not purchase anything here, except a hat and a model of the air traffic control tower, which we'll see in a minute. The next item on our list was simply to drive around Toronto's Pearson Airport. This is pretty self-explanatory. I saw an Antonov 124, which was super cool because they're very rare, and I saw several other cool planes, like this China Eastern 777-300ER in from Shanghai, the largest China Eastern plane I'd ever seen. As we rounded the corner, there were several other cool aircraft calling my name, like this Biman Bangladesh Boeing 787 and the now defunct Canada Jetlines A320s. Those were cool. I also managed to spot a Porter E195 E2. In fact, this was the same Embraer E2 I'd seen being built when I was in Brazil. By the way, check out that video of the Embraer Aviation Museum, as well as the factory, which I saw from the outside. It was pretty cool, linked up above. The rest of my morning was spent driving around the rest of Pearson Airport. I may have looked kind of odd doing this, stopping pretty often to take photos, like that Air Canada 787. And I even got a great view of the air traffic control tower right there. So good, in fact, I used it for the thumbnail for this video. I also saw the Air Canada Rouge 767-300 freighter, a very rare find, especially since they're now bringing 767s back to passenger operations as of December 2024. Our next location is the Toronto Airport Marriott Hotel, which faces runway 24 left. It's a great spot to spot all different sorts of aircraft coming in, from narrow bodies like this A321neo, up to much larger aircraft like this Air Canada 787 in from Tokyo. In fact, this spot was so good, it's where I did a live stream, which didn't turn out great, but I did see this.
That's it right there, 747, baby.
This was only my second time ever spotting a 747 landing, and hats off to anyone who can remember the first time. The video is on my channel, by the way, featured in another video. But yeah, the 747-400 is becoming increasingly rare, and it's super cool to see it land anywhere you get to see it. Also, by the time you see this video, I'll be flying aboard it. That's right, I'm going to be sitting upstairs in business class on the 747-400, heading to Frankfurt from Washington Dulles. Sounds like a pretty good reason to subscribe, don't you think? Anyway, back to the video. The next property on our list is the Sandman Signature Hotel, Toronto. This was also pretty good. It faces another large runway, and I saw this Air Transat A330 coming into land. This was pretty good, however the camera didn't do it justice. The next morning the footage was much better. In fact, I saw two A330-200s, unfortunately neither were good. The next morning I saw this Porter E195-E2 coming in from Halifax to Toronto. Pretty cool. There was also an Air Canada 787 in the old mint toothpaste livery heading out to Tokyo Narita. A super cool flight I hope to fly someday. There's also a 737 MAX heading out to San Francisco, also of Air Canada. Sorry about the rain, by the way, messing up the pictures. And a WestJet MAX 8 heading out to Calgary. An Egypt Air 787 came in from Cairo, another super cool flight. But by far my favorite was the world's largest plane, this Emirates Airbus A380 from Dubai, featuring the brand new livery. Pretty cool. I would be interested to hear what you think though. Do you like the new Emirates livery with the flag on the tail being wavy like that image, or the old one? Let me know by leaving a comment. But still, pretty awesome to see any Airbus A380. Later that day I headed to our next spot, Milestones Bar and Grill, which is right under the main approach to runway 24 left.
This is another great place for spotting planes if you're here in Toronto. This place behind me is called Milestones Grill and Bar. It's great. It sits right under the approach here in Toronto Pearson Airport, and the main runway that a bunch of regional planes come in. Right now it's about 10:15, 10:30 at night, and the views, well, they couldn't be better. Oh yeah!
On my way back the next morning, I caught this Ethiopian A350 landing in the sunbeam sky in from Addis Ababa. Pretty cool, as I'd never seen an Ethiopian A350. And I arrived just in time for what I was really hoping to see, the Air India 777.
Air India 777 300ER. Oh yeah! Woohoo!
Honestly, this place was pretty cool. I really enjoyed seeing that 777 come in. Honestly, I'd come back here above all the other spots so far. However, there was also this Porter E2 which came right over my head. It was also pretty cool to see. However, the Air Canada A220 was my favorite for the day, because I had never seen an A220 of Air Canada. Well, that's going to do it for this video, as that's all the spots I have on the list. If I missed anything, let me know and leave a comment. If not, happy spotting! I hope Toronto is now on your list. Also, remember that final surprise I mentioned at the end? Well, here she is. This Pakistan International Airlines 777-200LR. This was incredibly cool to see, as the 200LR is very rare, and I'd also never seen a Pakistan Airlines jet. However, the autofocus played havoc with the rainy, dirty windows. But the views did improve. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, especially keep an eye out for that trip aboard the 747. Beautiful 777. However, that's going to do it for this one. As always, until next time, you know the drill. I'll be wishing you blue skies and tailwinds.